Hello everybody, всем привет. Today we're going to be working on the artifacts. So currently, um, hero goes, picks up an artifact, it just gives me this dialog box and nothing happens in this screen. So that's what we're gonna fix. So the first thing I did was I actually created a list of all of the artifacts. There's 32 or I guess maybe 33 artifacts because of zero-based indexing. There's 33 artifacts that you can randomly pick up, plus the spellbook, plus the 4 ultimate artifacts. So there's 0 to 37 in terms of artifact indices, but only 33 are actually like randomly generated artifacts that you can find on the map. Sometimes they're fixed. Depends on the tile, like the map tile byte 8 code. I think one of those values is for a fixed artifact, and then you read which artifact it is from the actual artifact 32 value that was there. Otherwise, it's just going to be randomly generated from this list. Um, I created like a short game name for each one. I've created or listed the artifact 32 image ID if we have to look this up from the tile, from the map tile. Otherwise, this is the ICN image. So let me actually show you what I'm talking about with these. So this is actually the artifact.icn file. So these are these beautiful images. And then we also have artifact 32. This is what is actually displayed on the map. And then there's actually also this is the small value for, I think, the hero exchange. So it's ARTFX. So this is what's used on the heroes exchange screen when you're handing an artifact to a different hero. So that's the sprites. And then in order to actually get these this info, these event pickup texts, I actually created a list. I'm just pulling it up now of all of these artifacts. I have all of the screenshots of every single one. So I reloaded the claw map and would go pick up the random artifact repeatedly. Okay, that's the rogue's note. So I guess I'm missing that Medal of Honor. But I have almost all of these here, and there's probably a few others that I lost. The general trend is you're visiting somebody and they give you something. You rescue somebody, in this case, a sorceress or a young boy. You scare off some rogues that were grave robbing. Here you're digging in a mine and you free some dwarves. You save the countryside from a minotaur. You get the Medal of Distinction. You free a princess from some slavers, and they award you with the Medal of Honor. You're walking through an ancient city, and you find this magical ballista that destroyed the city. You find a purse filled with gold that once belonged to a great warrior king who had the ability to transform any inanimate object into gold. So that sounds like King Midas. A merchant gives you a lucky rabbit's foot for safe passage. You meet the Black Knight, draw with him, and he gives you a pair of armored gauntlets. Some levitating glass case shows up, and as soon as you touch it, it opens up and a scroll floats into your waiting hands. That would be pretty trippy. That one's kind of out of this world experience. A bolt of lightning strikes a tree, and inside the tree you find a mace. That's pretty pretty cool, I guess. you find a green, in the middle of a dead patch of everything, you find a healthy green four-leaf clover. I wish it was that easy. I have found four-leaf clovers in real life. They're usually not in patches of dead and dry vegetation, though. And then a lot of these scrolls of knowledge are like sort of grave robbing from some druids you find. So this one is an ancient druid, and you search his robe and you find the scroll. So you're basically grave robbing this druid. A giant killed himself with his own flail, clumsy guy, and you're confident in your skill with this weapon. So you remove the spectacular flail from the fallen giant. This does look really dangerous with 3 of these things swinging around. If you get the momentum wrong, you probably would hit yourself in the head. So I think this is kind of tongue-in-cheek, knowing your superior skill with this weapon. As if you would not suffer the same fate as the clumsy giant. And of course, some mischievous imp that's been terrorizing the region, you release him back and he gives you a magical coin. That is, well, that's kind of corrupt. This warrior, stone statue of a warrior holds a silver shield. As you remove the shield, the statue crumbles to dust. I mean, that's cool. A bit. It's kind of like a form of vandalism almost. Remains of a burnt witch lies a beautiful brooch. Approaching the corpse with caution, you add the brooch to inventory. So again, grave robbing. This may as well be the Hope Diamond here in the middle of this brooch. Another trader gives you some boots for safe passage from a tribe of goblins. Finest and softest leather, an anonymous donor. So you're just finders keepers here. Silver axe embedded deeply in the ground. Your army isn't able to pull it out, but you just grip it and pull it free effortlessly, as if it was magic. Freeing a virtuous maiden from the clutches of an evil overlord. You get the Medal of Valor by the King's Herald, as opposed to the king himself. And some bush bursts into flames, becomes a beautiful woman, and she gives you a magnificent sword. That's pseudo-biblical, this burning bush. It's the dragon sword of Dominion, +3. A noble woman separated from her traveling companions asks for your help. After escorting her home, she rewards you with a bag filled with gold. Now this gives you, I think, 750 gold a day. So that was pretty lucrative. She must be very rich. Maybe she works for the Federal Reserve. Golden light. So you just find a helm hidden under a bush. You save a centaur from a trap. He gives you a magic ring. An old sea captain is being tortured by ogres. You save him. In return, he rewards you with this astrolabe. So that's most of them. There might be 1 or 2 that I missed, but I caught them all. I was sure that I caught them all. This took me about 3 hours to compile all of this information, just slowly but surely. And I broke them into the different strings so that the text doesn't write across the window. So I could maybe wrap it or do something with a different font, but I wanted to get this as close to the original, just because finding an artifact is such a cool aspect of this game. I wanted to get that pretty spot on. So I built this. I built another document about the hover text. So when you hover over an object, like the Medal of Courage increases your morale. And these are the info boxes when you either right mouse button click and look at the tooltip, or you left click and it brings up the dialog box that you have to click OK on. So this gives you that info. There's a short artifact name where when you have like the arcane necklace, it tells you +4 spell power or something like that. I guess I'm missing a parentheses there. Well, I'll have to check that. But basically it tells you in the short title what the effect is of the artifact that improves your stats. So it tells you how much the scrolls improve your knowledge by, or various weapons or armor, how much they improve your attack or defense, and the various rings and brooches and necklaces, how much, and I guess there's a bracelet, how much they improve your spell power. So I created that file, and then I haven't done this yet. This is on my to-do list, but I have to add in the artifact purchase from the leprechauns and the rogue looters. I don't actually know what the probabilities are of those events happening, so I'm going to have to do like a sample size of like 30 to see about how often that happens, and then I can start to make some statistical estimates of what those probabilities should be. So I start out with the prompt here. I give it an image of this dialog box of what it looks like when you pick up an artifact. I give it my map format, which tells me basically it's going to tell you the let's see what I'm specifically looking for here is a random artifact is BD. And then B0, I thought was a rogue guarded artifact, but that's actually not true. This actually is just a fixed artifact. And I thought it was a rogue guarded artifact because the endless sack of gold in Claw is almost always guarded by rogues, but that's actually not 100% true. And I think I've found that the rogue guarded artifact probability goes down if you have a much stronger army as well. So there's that's my theory. I don't know that for sure, but I'm thinking about these questions. And anyway, these are the events that we're basically dealing with today. Is 0xB0 and 0xBD. Those are the byte 8 tile codes for. Let's see if I can. Oh, actually, it says bit 7. That's not right. But here it is. Byte 8 object event type. So this is basically telling us what is there on the map, whether it's a random artifact or in this case, a fixed artifact. So I drop in the map format to let it know that. I give it the artifact hover text, which I just showed you guys. And then I drop in a whole bunch of my code. I also have this artifact pickup table where this actually has the text that is displayed for each one in the dialog box when you pick it up. And here I say I want to use the artifact pickup dialogs, or I want to add those to events CVP and event actions. I've attached a text file, this artifact pickup text table, and then I explain what happens when you pick up a fixed artifact. You either identify it based on what object code it is, if it's a fixed artifact, and if it's a random artifact, you have to look at what was assigned on startup in map CPP-H, which is what generates the map and fills in the random values. Then you have to display a dialog box containing the text in event pickup text column, which is a series of strings and quotes. Each set of quotes is a line of text to be displayed in the dialog box. And then below that, about 15 pixels, we display the artifact image, and that is in this hero screen. We have this this frame here. The artifact goes inside of this frame. This is, I think, what was it, 76 by 76, and the artifacts are 64 by 64. So it's basically 6 pixels of padding on each side to frame this artifact, giving it that info so that it knows where to orient the artifact relative to that frame. Artifact ICN uses the decimal value of the hex code as the frame of the artifact. That's sensible. That's how the game works. The dialog box then has OK about 10 pixels below the artifact image frame. Upon clicking OK, the artifact is added to the artifact inventory of the hero. The artifact properties need to be processed somewhere in the hero state. The movement point calculations are already processed. And I did that back when I was calculating hero movement points. Morale is also processed. Luck is also processed, or at least I think it is. The resource granting artifacts are processed in New Day and Kingdom screen. and looking at the heroes artifact, actually all of those functions look at the heroes artifact inventories. We're just going to ignore the ballista of quickness for now because that's really only useful in a castle siege situation, and I haven't built that yet. So, but for artifacts that add to the hero's base skills, attack skill, defense, spell power, knowledge, we're not yet processing those, so we need to add in some logic. It's described in the stat effects column on the was it here? No, it was in artifact pickup table. I have a stat effects column, like spell power +4 for the arcane necklace, for example. And then the, let's see, OK button. Yes, so I have this pickup text. Totally lost my place here. Did I write it twice? Oh yeah, I did. So then help me find where to add that in that functionality, and then I just recap. I basically restate everything I stated, and then I just also mention again the hover text for each artifact is included in this artifact hover text.csv. So goes through, makes some changes to event actions, map. It adds this artifact stat bonus. Goes through and ends up just kind of spitting out some of these files directly. Here it's making the different stats. It's making a table of stats for each artifact that will affect those stats. And it's making an effective attack in all of this. The effective attack, effective defense. So you have your base values that are based on the hero's level when they get a level up. But then you also get this effective attack, which is your artifact enhanced attack skill. And this is drawing the artifact layout for the dialog box, or actually, yeah, for the dialog box when you pick up the artifact. So here's the centered text lines, and then we have the frame 15 pixels below that, and then we have an OK button 10 pixels underneath that. So it was a long computation. It still continues on. First it says it's going to make patches, but it ends up actually just giving me the full files. So let me pull up what that build is here. So let's see what bugs we got here. We're going to go try and pick up this artifact. Okay, that's good. The ancient druid bones. So we are grave robbing a druid. Classy. And we get it. That's not the right dialog box. That actually looks okay, but it doesn't tell us how much. Superior Scroll of Knowledge increases your knowledge, yep. And then our knowledge isn't actually increased here. So it's kind of working. That's okay. Let's just do another one, see what we're dealing with. Here we have a sorceress, so let's pick up another artifact with sorceress. We get the silver axe, that's right, for the power axe. So the text is lining up. This is a little bit off. The magic book dialogues are working correctly, but this, yeah, that's just broken. And then this layout is a little bit off. There's something funny going on with that layout. So that's some progress, I guess. We still didn't see her update as well on her attack skill. That did not increase. So my comment to the AI is this is somewhat working. Picked up, it's getting placed in inventory. The artifacts that can affect stats are not being computed in the hero screen, so we can, and then I accidentally hit go too early, so we'll come back to that in a second. The artifact pickup is going fine. The stat bonuses are not being computed for artifacts that compute stats. The luck bonuses are not being computed for artifacts or for stats that compute luck. I guess it should be artifacts that compute luck. And morale is also not being computed right. Fizbin of Misfortune, I had misidentified it as being -1 morale. It's actually -2. Medal of Distinction, Medal of Valor, Medal of Honor, Medal of Courage are all morale +1. They're showing up in the morale tooltip box in the hero screen, but the morale computation is not incorporating them. So we need to update the morale computation. Same thing basically with luck. The endless bag of gold, endless sack of gold, and endless purse of gold all need to say the amount of gold they have per day. So let me pick up some objects here. We're getting this. This is our mage's ring. Also, our spell power did not increase, so I'm picking that up. It should increase it by 2. Let's go pick up the endless sack of gold here. Just gonna do my quick auto exit out of that. We pick up the endless sack of gold. Looks like we've got a little bit of an issue here with some spacing. But we picked up the artifact. We're even offset a little more incorrectly. So there's a little bit of funniness going on with the layout. And this doesn't tell us how much gold. It just says it gives us extra gold each day. So let's see. But it is reflected correctly in the kingdom screen. So my kingdom screen gold computation. Let's see how much gold we have at the end of this new day. We have 102,000. So the endless sack of gold is working. The description's a little off. The alignment's a little off, but it's working. The computation's working and the new day is processing it correctly. The info bar hover text for artifacts should be view artifact long name info. Let's see what that was here in this buggy version. Pick up, I think this is Medal of Distinction. Yes. View Medal of Distinction info. So that looks okay. Tooltips should show the short artifact name in the title and the RMB tooltip as the text. It seems like you've truncated those values. And then when you right mouse click on an artifact, except for the spellbook, it should show the dialog box in dialog utils with the same info as RMB tooltips, but only have an OK button on the bottom and capture all input until OK is pressed. RMB is right mouse button, by the way. So anyway, it starts doing this, but then it's like, oh, you didn't upload hero screen tooltips, so I'll just make something up. Let me read the relevant sections around that and try and figure it out. And I'm like, no. I'm just going to stop you and give you that file. Don't make anything up. And then I type in what I had meant to type in up above. The artifacts that affect stats are not being computed in the hero screen, so we can't see the effects of a hero possessing the artifact that adds to their stat values. Let's see if we can fix that too. So it goes through, processes a bunch of this, corrects the Fizbin here. We see Fizbin -1 should be -2. The info bar text should be view artifact, long artifact name. So it's making those updates. It's updating the LMB click on the artifact in game main, and it's updating the effective morale and effective luck stats display in the hero screen. Instead of using hero.attack value, H is this variable that represents a hero in local processing, and then it uses H effective attack. So we scroll down and make some changes. Gives me a summary. Tells you what it's doing with luck and morale. Completely rewrites the tooltip for the artifacts. Let's see how that works. So it gave me a handful of files, and let's check out artifacts here. So we have Yogg. We're going to go pick up the Gambler's Lucky Coin here and see what that does for us. So our luck is good luck, and we currently have a good luck modifier of Gambler's Lucky Coin +1. This shows up here correctly. This is still not working though. My left mouse button is not bringing up that dialog. So that's okay. Well, that's not good, but let's try another one. We can reload this all day. All right, we're gonna go pick up the endless purse of gold. This does tell you that now it gives you the correct text here, the 500 gold per day. The info bar text is correct down there. It looks like this is a little better here. It's showing empty for these slots, which is what it's supposed to show you. Let's just double check that our kingdom screen is 1500 per day. That's correct. And let's just run a new day and just make sure that we get another 1500 gold, which we did. So that artifact is checking out. So far it's just that menu screen that's kind of messed up. All right, we've got this Superior Scroll of Knowledge. The text is actually correct. It increases our knowledge by 4. Our knowledge is increased by 4. That's good. We have no spells to cast. So why don't we go up here and just get rid of these peasants for now. And let's go learn some spells and see how many spells we learn. We got Resurrect. Okay, that's cool. We only learned 2 of them though. So our logic for learning spells is using our base value of knowledge, not our effective value of knowledge. While we're looking at that, okay, these are, since he has 0, 0, we don't know if it's actually adding to the creature stats as well. So let's get a, let's see if we can pick up a weapon or armor and test if that's working. So here's another luck one. Let's just see what this does to our luck. I think we already tested a luck one, the Gambler's Lucky Coin. But yeah, the Golden Horseshoe's working. Let's just keep loading until we get a weapon. Okay, that's the Ballista. That's the one special case we're not going to be addressing right now. How about the Defender Helm here? Okay, we pick up the helmet. Our defense is showing here, but the heroes, or the creatures, the army are only getting 2 defense bonus, and it should be 3. So in these tooltip screens, the armies are only getting the hero's base stat bonus. They're not computed using the effective attack and defense. So that is the next problem. So I did have a compile error on something here. Something was weird with the map. Fix that. And I give it, this is an example of what is supposed to be shown for the artifact. When you click on it, instead of that weird little box, you're supposed to see this. Okay. And so I give it all of these. I also actually throw in my troop move, battle resources, battle screen, mage guild screen, spellbook, because I want the spellbooks, I want your spellbook to absorb the effective knowledge number of spells, whether it's from the Mage Guild or from the Spell Shrine. Both of those, you learn spells from a function call in Mage Guild, which is like teach hero spells or something like that. And that is probably using the hero's base stat. So we need to fix that. Similarly, I can actually just go and also show you something here. I should have done it on the last one, but we're going to pick up a weapon here. So we get this attack. So this is actually being effectively included there. It is not showing up on the centaur. And if we go to a battle screen here, let's check. It's not being added to our creatures here. And it's not showing up also in our general menu. So these values are not being read correctly, and the values of the bonuses on these creatures are also not being processed correctly. So I'm attaching a picture of that, and then the effective attack and effective defense need to be added to the creature stats in the creature previews on the hero screen. Currently only the base stats are being added, but it should be effective attack and effective defense. Morale and luck of the creatures are also updated based on the hero's luck and morale. The same effect happens on the battle screen. Effective attack and defense are added to the creature attack and defense, and morale and luck of the creature are replaced with that of the hero. The effective spell power and effective knowledge need to be called in the View General menu in the battle screen to show the correct effective stats for a hero. And when a hero is learning spells, the effective knowledge is how many of that spell a hero can learn. This affects the Mage Guild learning logic and the Magic Shrine learning logic. So let's see if this is going to get fixed. We're going to run through all of these. Battle screen, it now takes all the effective values for the general view. It also computes attack damage using those effective values because it might not have been before. And I'm not sure about that. I want to just double check and let's make sure that we're using the creature attack plus effective hero attack value and creature defense plus effective creature defense. So it goes through, decides that it wasn't, and gives me this battle screen. Let's have a look at this version. And again, I double confirm that. And in the first version of this, which I think I've since corrected manually, we picked this up and now this is aligned, but it actually wasn't aligned. It was slightly off. So I had to play around with some offsets manually, and that was what I did here next. So anyway, the luck here is shown. We have a slight luck modifier. We have good luck on these creatures and low morale. Let's go up and have a battle quick. Luck is good. Luck is good. Luck is good. So that's cool. Let's get a couple of different artifacts here and see what they do. Well, the Traveler's Boots. This lets her move a little further. I should actually test that out and make sure that the heroes can actually get the full value that I think they should. All right, here we got some scroll of knowledge here, and she has a spell book, and they're showing up aligned because I fixed that earlier. Her knowledge is now 6, which is correct because a sorceress has 3 knowledge as a base, and then she got the major scroll of knowledge, which gives her +3. This is also showing up correctly now. That's kind of nice to see. Let's go and get a spell from the spell shrine. And so we learned anti-magic. Let's see how many we learned. We learned 6 of those, so that is good. So the spell learning is correct. And let's see if we can get a weapon or armor and test. Okay, we got the helm. So she's got 1 defense, and the sprites now have a defense, the dwarves, dragons. So that looks like it's working there. And let's have a quick look at this battle with the archers. So her defense is showing up there. Is it showing up in the creatures? Yes, it is. So this looks like we got that. We got the artifacts basically working. And then it told me which values to change to fix the artifact layout. And then I just updated my documentation. Everywhere there was a lot of little updates for all the things with artifacts because I'd been pushing it off until this point. So the ballista is still not implemented yet, but we haven't implemented castle siege battles. So we'll implement that at some point. But this was good progress and just adding the events, getting artifacts. Also, the next thing that's coming is adding in the random rogues jumping out to guard their loot, and the leprechaun that tries to sell you the artifact for 2,000 gold or whatever it ends up being. So those adjustments to this event will be added in at some point soon. But for right now, I'm just overjoyed that I have this working and they're functioning. And most of the work was really just building out these tables, you know, collecting the info manually from all 30 some artifact files. And you know, I have had a few people in the comments express interest in getting translated versions of this into Polish and Russian, because there's very big communities in those countries. And well, just having this text ready to go like this, certainly the machine translation from things like just Google Translate or whatever are really like, it's great now. And so it's pretty trivial to translate these large blocks of text of really like story flavor text for this game. Getting those translated over into Polish and Russian and probably some other languages is very doable, very possible. The original game, I believe, supported like French, Spanish, German, Italian, I want to say. Those were like the big ones that were proposed, but I don't know if it actually happened. There is a French demo of the game, and I'm going to download that and look at the maps and see what the languages are in it. But I'm curious to see if the executables are different, if those have been translated, if some of this artifact text was translated, like where it's encoded in the game. I think it might actually be in the executable of the game, though. Could probably find that out with a hex editor. Maybe I'll do that.